Hello everyone, today's video is going to cover how to go from drywalled tub to fully waterproof enclosure with Schluter DITRA membrane, and of course full tile work with this beautiful 4x4 blue and beige Artisan tile, including a long vertical niche. Alright, let's get started. Before you begin any work, don't forget to protect the tub, very important. I'm using these drop cloths and some stucco tape. To make the tile look good around the niche, it's important to place the niche in the correct location so that it gets fished in between the tiles. And that's exactly what I'm doing here, sort of getting a feel for the space, marking out where the cutout's going to be, so that when the time comes for the tile to go in, it looks just perfect, like it was meant to be there. Because I'm using a prefabricated niche, I'm not really going into very much detail. These do save a lot of time and work really great. Now it's time for the next stage, which is the waterproofing. I'm going to be installing KERDI DITRA membrane with Schluter All-Set, just white Schluter All-Set. You can also use an unmodified thin set. If you're going to be putting anything on drywall, make sure that you sponge off anything. Drywall tends to have a little bit of drywall dust on it, so you want to take that off. As for the trowel, I'm using an 1/8 inch square trowel and installing the membrane over it and pushing out any air bubbles that might be there. Another important thing is you want to pre-cut the pieces so that you're not struggling with trying to cut them while everything's on the walls. I start from the bottom and roll the piece upwards, always overlapping 2 inches between sheets. If you are a DIYer or somebody who wants to be absolutely certain of your waterproofing, this I think is much preferable to any kind of liquid membrane. You always get the correct thickness, and in my opinion at least, it's very easy to install. Alright, so for the tile work, this is going to be probably one of the easier tile installations. 4x4 ceramic tile really doesn't get any easier than that. I do try to use a laser level at the base of the tub. Sometimes the tubs are a little bit off, and it's important to always start with a level line. I'm using these awesome spacers. They are 1/16 spacers, so that is the grout joint size. You want to make sure that your mortar layer is the correct thickness. This is 1/4 inch, and the mortar is mixed to slightly runny consistency to give me a greater open working time, because it does take a while to put these pieces down. For any pieces that are going to be on an outside corner, or at least close to an outside corner, I do like to polish off the edges. You do not want sharp edges in a tub space. For projects like this where I can cut all the pieces before I even start the wall, I mainly use a wet saw. The cuts are more precise and much faster to make this way. This project does use these edging pieces. They're called pencil liners. It's this beautiful ceramic coated finish that is made by the manufacturer to match the tile. Those outside pieces will be used to wrap any outside corner so that you don't have any unfinished edges. A good tile job is going to contour with whatever is in the wall, so the goal here was to create the appearance that the tile is folding into that space. So we have full tiles on the top and bottom, and then we have half tiles on both of the sides. For the tub spout, I use a grinding blade to make a perfect hole no matter where it is in the tile. Excellent fit, and it looks better, makes it easier for the plumber to come back and put the faucet and get a really nice covered area. I am also using some horseshoe spacers on the bottom because this tub was a little bit out of level, and these horseshoe spacers help to bring it back to a plumb line. Also aligning really nicely with the ceiling there, so the tile terminates right at the right place. This little bonus step here, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I do like to, just like with the other tiles, I like to polish off any sharp edges when dealing with ceramic or porcelain tiles. The cover is going to overlap at least 2 inches, but I like to keep things really close to the valve cover there so that when the gasket goes on, it has plenty of room for it to really seal. So I try to have a clearance of about a 1/16 inch. Alright, now that all the walls are done, it's time to tile the inside of the niche. All the pieces are already pre-cut before I start installing any of the tile. It really helps to visualize how it's going to look even before you start. This is going to cover the back wall as well as the side walls. The tiles used inside of the niche do have this beautiful, intricate pattern. Cutting them beforehand and laying them out helps me to put the right pieces in the right place to make it look as good as it can. Once all the mortar is put onto the wall, the only thing left is to install the tile. I'm using some tile wedges and horseshoe spacers to really just align and make minor adjustments to the tile height so that all the horizontal and vertical lines fit perfectly. Here's another view the next day. This is right before the grout starts. I got all of the grout lines cleaned up and the walls cleaned up as well. It is ready for grouting. And we are all done. Another successful project, fully enclosed waterproof tub surround with Schluter DITRA membrane, a prefabricated large vertical niche, and of course this beautiful 4x4 beige, blue, green, wavy tile. If you are in the Central Oregon area, my information is in the description. And as always, thank you for watching.